I was raised Baptist by one parent and Jehovah's Witness by the other parent. So at a very young age, questioning things and seeing things outside of one mindset was kind of, it forced me to see, it forced me to question a lot and to explore a lot. Not to mention when I got older, I started meeting people. Well, I was also introduced to the Catholic faith and a bunch of other things. So I was able to see outside of just one thing. But meditation is not evil. We were taught that these things were evil, such as meditation, tarot cards, hoodoo, voodoo. We were taught that these things were evil because it was helping us as enslaved people dominate the oppressor. Haiti won its revolution using hoodoo. Freedoms was won by black people being able to go to their healers or their prophets and their, I mean, a healer is nothing um what do you want to call it, what do you call it, it's coming to me, a psychic or whatever you want to call it, is equivalent to a prophet. It's just two different names, same thing. You see into the future, you see things that it's all in how you word it. But people take the lack of knowledge, people will take your lack of knowledge or your lack of knowing, and they will weaponize it when they think that you are ignorant of something or not fully educated of something. People will take that and they will use it against you. I've been a victim of that. And a lot of things that we were taught that were evil or not good for us or whatever, they were actually good for us. For us, they weren't good for our enemies or oppressors, or, you know, I don't like to say masters and all of that or whatever, because they were not that. They were never the master of our bodies, and they could never be the masters of our spirit. Literally. Never. And even in that whole word, even in that word master is a spiritual chokehold, is what I want to say. Because when you call somebody your master, the deep rootedness of even that word gives them power and power over your being, and they never had power over our being. There was resistance, there was revolutions, they may not have succeeded in a lot of cases, but there were they didn't just lay down and take it. That's why when people say I am not my ancestors, some people are really not, because they couldn't even survive a day in our ancestors' shoes. They couldn't even survive the way that they survived. Some of the people now in today's society couldn't even do it. Couldn't even figure out a way to overcome those barriers despite what they were faced with. Because see, what we going through right now, okay, we still have our certain type of oh, absolutely. And I have ideas on that, but I just don't really share them as far as the whole Jesus thing goes. The story. I just let people have what they have or what they think. Like me, I don't force my thinking on other people. Like, we can have a conversation, but I even limit it to that because there are boundaries. It's not my job to convert anybody to my way of thinking, just like it's nobody's job to convert me over to their way of thinking. We are all operating through this life, and whatever makes you feel, because there's one destination that we all got to go to, and it cannot be avoided, and that's either cremation or in the ground. One or two ways, that same destiny is going to happen for all of us. And whatever brings you peace to your transition journey, because I've seen seen my share of people transition, and whatever brings you peace is not my job to break that part of you or break that. Like, I can educate to a certain extent, but there has to be boundaries even within the education, you know. So I just there's a lot of things that just I have deeper thinking of certain things that we were taught, you know. It was. And even there's this on YouTube, I'ma share it. As soon as I could. I'm gonna try to remember. But on Netflix, there's a documentary with Morgan Freeman, and it's called The Story of God. Oh my goodness, when I tell you, it opened up so much in my brain, and it confirmed so much of what I was already thinking. It shows you the temples and all kinds of stuff, and like they go into the pyramids, and like you feel like you there because of what they talked about, the devil and how that story came about and all. When I tell you, it shattered and confirmed so much. I haven't even finished it, and it's been like a year. I said I was gonna get back into it, but it shows you everything. Even the Baptist church, it talks to the Buddhists, and it's just so interesting to see how everybody believes different dynamics or different things, but it all still connects at the end of the day. And I feel like that's what, how do I want to say? Because I don't like saying higher powers or the powers that be of, people say the ruling class or whatever, you know, like I say upper class, don't want this unity to happen, because the more united we are, the more we talk to each other. And that's why they're trying so hard to hurry up and get these little laws in place and all of that, because we're talking to each other more. We're not just relying on media anymore to talk in third person for us, to be the third party, the middleman and the mediator. We can actually talk to each other one-on-one directly. It's no more going through them or going through the messenger. We can talk straight. So if it's an argument, it's an argument between me and you. If it's a conversation, it's a conversation between me and you. If it's a disagreement or agreement, people are talking directly to each other. That's why they have to put so many things in place and try to regulate all of this. Even social media is shadow banning and trying to show content lists and all of that, because people aren't just on TikTok. Changed the game. People aren't just on social media anymore being flashy and being flashy and putting on for an audience. People are actually having real conversations that need to be had. And not a lot of people go live, or not a lot of people are willing to speak, because they don't want parts of themselves being revealed. And that was keeping it safe for a very long time, because people weren't getting on live. People were too afraid to speak up and stuff. And now you have this whole movement of people just saying it with their chest regardless. I like it, whether I agree with you or not. I'd rather know what is in the mind of the person I gotta deal with, or who my kids gotta deal with, because you know what you're up against. And there are so many things that we were taught that were bad for us. But even as I'm studying it, I'm like I did a tarot spread for me the other day, and it was right on point. It was nothing like how they teach you certain cards, like certain cards do, you know, there's a balance of good and positive and negative in everything. But it's not as dramatic as what TV makes it out to seem. They really, really, how do I want to say it? They really, really put the theatrics behind it to make it interesting. They really do, in a lot of things. And even in our personalities, because as we're talking to each other one-on-one, you see that what you thought about certain people is starting to become debunked. the more that people actually start speaking and start being themselves and it's in everybody's face, the less the media has a leg to stand on as far as like stereotypes go and biases and all kinds of crazy like theatrical language and verbiage and how people act and all that. You learn that life is really, some people in life is not like that, and you can get wrapped up in thinking certain things are a majority when you're seeing it all day, every day, all the time, and that's what it. That's the easiest way to condition the mind. It's to constantly. That's why I'm mindful, like me personally, what's on my timeline, my For You page, and all that, because my tribe, my crown tribe, they expect me to have a certain type of energy, and for me to be who I am and to operate in the energy that I'm in. I try not to get into the TikTok drama or mess, the chaos. I try to stay out of that. I try to do me and do what I came on here to do and what people expect because of the content that I've been given and my authentic energy. I'm not about to but I'm definitely working on the things that people have been requesting of me and have been asking. It's a long process. I'm hoping that it'll be worth it in the end, because mama got to make some money. But in the midst of making some money, I want to be able to impact life. I want people to walk away, just like when I was a seamstress. I want people to walk away from the experience and be like, man, I feel really good after that. I feel energized. I feel great. My path has just changed. I used to make like soaps and body products and all kinds of stuff, and I just stopped doing that. So I'm trying to get back into that and offer a couple of things, and offer also some things that have been asked of me as well. People have been asking me to start back with the soaps and the bath salts and stuff like that. The wellness, the self-care, the things that we weren't taught. Because self-care don't even have to be long. It can just be a couple of minutes or a bath or, whatever. Whatever we make it out to be. But we have to care for ourselves. And that's what I want to help guide through. I want to help guide people to where they want to be in energy. But yeah, all it is some people coming before us that got a head start before us, that came and regulated everything. That's all it is. And now that majority, because baby boomers were a large, them and Gen X were a very large, like, baby boomer, babies being born type of thing. And now they are starting to transition. The baby boomers are starting to transition, and they're worried about where that's going to leave their kids and their grandchildren. Oh yeah, we ain't gonna agree. Like, regardless of how I feel, even about the Bible and the journey of it, there's some stuff in there that is, like, I'm a huge fan of Proverbs. Proverbs is probably my favorite book, and I'm very much, probably because I sound a lot, my content sounds a lot like Proverbs. It's honest, it's raw, it's real, it's not sugarcoating anything. It doesn't care about feelings or emotions, and it is what it is. And that's how Proverbs is. That's my favorite